from the chronicles of one of America's greatest poets at the moment. The number one poem going off the charts. It says, "Sexy little female dog, sexy little garden tool. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. Let a young person come play in your ear. Deep stroke your ear till I make you choke. Throat babies. No, I'm sorry. Ear babies. Ear babies. I'm trying to give them to you. Ear babies. I want to bust all on you." Thank you all for coming to our Podigal podcast, episode number 4. No? Can we do another one?
What do you mean? It's episode number 4. Yeah, it's episode number 4.
No, can we do another opening? I don't want that opening.
What did you?
I just thought it was going to be funny. Sexy little bit. Sexy little. Like the way you walk. Like the way you talk. It's throat babies. Throat babies. Throat babies. You freestyled the last one. I could freestyle her too. We'll keep it. Welcome everybody to Podigal Sons, y'all. We are in episode 4. All right, episode 4. That's 2 plus 2, or 1 plus 2 plus 1.
Amen. That's 2 of the combinations that get us there, but yeah, episode number 4.
How you feeling, Brandon?
I'm hot. But so I'm kind of conserving my energy. I feel like a bear in like hibernation. Like I got, I ate the things I need to eat to get clogged up, and then I'm just trying to. I'm gonna sweat pretty soon here, so I'm trying to, lessen the time until that happens.
Like when you out at like something or some event and you didn't put on deodorant. So
That never happens to me.
it happens to people though, right?
I think most people remember to put on deodorant. Either people put on deodorant or don't.
Stop it. I come in contact with this musty person at least once or twice.
That's the person who just doesn't put on deodorant, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're saying to forget. I think people, like, if you're in the habit of putting on deodorant, you put on deodorant. If you don't put on deodorant, you don't put on deodorant.
Anyway, if you happen to not put on deodorant, when was the last time you forgot to put on deodorant?
I don't. Every time I don't wear deodorant, it's purposeful.
Interesting. It has like all types of aluminum and like chemicals and
yes. I was alive in 2011.
You love it. You love that aluminum smell on you.
No, I don't.
There's natural deodorants, foil. But anyway, when you go somewhere and let's say you have one of those natural deodorants that ain't extra strength.
Well, natural deodorants do wear off pretty soon.
Yeah. Athletic or anything like strenuous, because you know that one bead of sweat is the second you start like being musty. You go from like smelling like a wonderful flower, fern, to
that actually depends on. It's a good question to start us off. Where do you sweat first? What 2 or 3 spots do you start sweating first? Because that's different for everyone.
It is different for everyone, isn't it? I would say if I'm starting to sweat,
like the places where you're sweating, but it's not visible, but you're still sweating.
That's anywhere
like
with clothes.
3 of them.
That's literally anywhere that's exposed, like anywhere that's not exposed, covered. Not my legs, but definitely like my neck. Like I'll start to feel.
Where in your neck?
Just like around the collar and
really?
Like yeah.
Start sweating there. Okay. What are the 2 places?
Head. My sweat loves to come out my head.
There you go.
It is the main place I sprinkle.
Go. And then where's the 3rd?
Back.
Where?
Upper back.
Upper back.
Upper back.
Interesting. I was going to lower back first.
Your lower back.
I feel the itches, and I know that they're there. I feel them right now, and I want to talk about them because I want to give them. It's like demons and bad thoughts. You don't want to give them. You don't want to say it's Voldemort. You don't want the name. The sweat at my lower back is Voldemort. He shall not be named.
Shall not be named.
He who shall not be apostle tongue. And then
I ain't fuck with Harry Potter.
The upper brow is when people start seeing. I'm glistening just a little bit right now, and then below the man boob, the little like a nice little like river under the crease of my chest, my chesticles.
So
Where those are my three spots where I. So I'm saying, like, for me, armpits are like based on how well my deodorant lasts. By the way, I use Secret. The secret is you can use, men can use it too.
yeah, women's deodorant does work better.
Powder,
That's just a
powder,
fact.
lavender, just powder. Yeah, but anyways, and yeah, my deodorant lasts a very, very long time. So it must be the fact that my hot spots are those. Oh, and then yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm cooling down. I'm cooling
Yeah.
down. So I'm actually reverting. This usually doesn't happen without taking clothes off, like frantically going outside topless and different things like that. I'm always trying to cool down.
That is great advice. I feel like if you are lucky, you will be able to cool down very soon here, thanks to global warming and the other neglectful things that we do. This is our fourth podcast, you all, and y'all have been jigging and jiving with us. I appreciate you so much. Like
Those sound
we're
like
thankful
racial
for it.
slurs.
They're racial because you just mentioned them to be.
I said they sound like racial slurs.
They have been used and co-opted for racial things for
Okay.
sure, but most slang terminology is right. Most terminology.
Why
comes
you
from-
always try to like binary the hell out of stuff? Like it could have just been those two words, and now all slang is racially charged.
not racially charged, but co-opted by racists to make it racially charged. So
I think
I'm
slang
gonna
is cultural.
Get out of here!
I
Get
think
out of here, homeboy!
It's.
You,
I
you
think
feel
it's,
what I'm saying? Like it
I
is
think
now.
I think it's cultural, and it can be used against people in other cultures. You know what I'm saying? It's. Just, I mean, I'm not going to go there.
You're
but
saying that I could say Justin Timberlake's a jigaboo, and it sounds right. You would.
Are you
like-
saying it negatively or positively?
Is there a positive?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the removing of a cultural slang terminology or nickname, and
That's a
and,
racial
and
epithet.
if you're taking it, if
Y'all
you're
read
switching,
Stamp from the Beginning. Stamp from the Beginning by Ibram Kennedy X. You all. That is racial epithets. He traces our terminology and racist terminology back from when we got off the boat in 1619 all the way to modern times. So it's a really interesting book. But I am
he's
thankful.
referring to African Americans.
I'm thankful for
Are you
us. What?
Are you not talking about African Americans? You said we got.
No,
off
I'm
the boat?
feeling you like my Siri, like you my autocorrector. So like I feel like I can just go on and
I'm
you
asking
are
a
there
question.
to translate.
I don't want to translate if the message that I'm pushing is not where you're at. I was asking, were you talking about African Americans when you said we got off the boat?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
And not all African Americans. There were American Africans who were already here through, pre-contact and still lived here, kind of didn't come off the boat, but a large majority of us did. I don't want to be too binary, right? I don't want to say we and then mean all of the, black race in America. I don't mean that at all. I mean,
Okay.
like the first 20 enslaved Africans that were brought.
20?
Yeah, it was 20. You got a lot of history to know. So look, we are thankful today. All right, so it's our fourth episode. I was getting to that. You guys have been messing with the podcast. We appreciate you. You all have been like tuning in. We appreciate you. And honestly, we're thankful. That's the word I want to use. Thankful is one of those words, B, that like I feel like is overutilized but underappreciated.
It's like a good album cut that makes the radio. It's like it's over, it plays too much and it's too popular, but at the end of the day, it's really good.
It's
like Hey
really
Ya.
good.
Hey Ya
Okay.
is a good example of that. Just like overdid. Maybe Roses is a better example of it.
No, I'd like Hey Ya.
Yeah.
You got just don't get it because there's nothing at all.
Because it's like a good song, but it's
Feelings,
like
supper's always better when there's feelings involved. So y'all,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is that supper that he was talking about. All right, he said supper's always better when there's feelings involved. Right?
Yes.
Like that's Thanksgiving is that supper that we're going to be going to soon that you all will be enjoying as you go throughout the coming week. So family thankful. We got our little categories. I don't know. Y'all let us know if y'all like the categories or not. We running with them, but we family thankful.
Yes.
Out here. We family
Yes,
thankful.
that was my where I wanted to start, and thinking about the fourth episode, I can't help but to think about my son Carter, and obviously being family thankful, who was born on March 4th, right? One of the only
Big
date,
Pisces game.
the only date, the only date that is in sentence, March 4th.
Woo!
And shout out to
March 4th,
the best basketball player to ever live, Shaquille O'Neal, 34 for the Lakers, 3-4, Carter's name. But 4 is like this big important number. It seemed to be like unlucky in the East Asian way, but like for us, it just feels, I don't know, because I guess 4-leaf clover is a thing too, but like it's also not the Trinity.
No.
A lot of clovers, like Notre Dame, for instance, their clovers has 3 leaves because they're representing the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
All my connotations with 4 are negative.
Really?
Like 4 loco, like 4 horsemen
That's
of the apocalypse, like 4.
oh
Yeah.
okay.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking maybe like Jay-Z.
I like it. No,
Jay-Z
I like
and
it.
Beyonce's
I love me some even numbers, man.
they're for even numbers.
Even numbers
But
is
anyways, away from the tangent, more on the family.
More on the family.
Obviously being here in Louisville, like being
my God,
like
you're here.
it's very very full circle being a 30-year-old human. I think a lot of people, like as we talked about, had 2020 circled on their calendars because they were expecting something, and we did get something very big and huge, but it really forced us to be in family mode a lot of times. Like, I mean, how many like memes and jokes were about like people who are more promiscuous than not, and they can't see their side family because they was too busy with their main family when COVID first started, when the quarantine first started. Like,
I haven't seen a lot of those memes at all. But,
Okay.
I'm getting where you're coming from. Keep going.
But yeah, but it's like mainly focusing in on family and kind of rejiggering what is important to all of us.
Jiggering. What's the jiggering? That's racial. Keep going.
Okay, I mean, you just okay.
No, but
we're
keep going.
okay. It's hard for me too. You understand that?
Okay.
So, but yeah, so, and obviously like being around like, just my mom, my family, but also right now with COVID, there's so many family members that I would like to see but haven't seen because we don't even want to broach the conversation of like, because we know we're probably more scary about COVID than other people because other people have had it and turned around and been okay. Like a lot of people in our family, the close people that we would see have already had it and stuff. Even mom too. Like, and we was leaving the house. We was in the house the other day and she kissed us on the cheek leaving. Me and Michelle, we like
anybody's
mom,
all on you.
Just like mom, come on now, please. Which we're fighting. We're trying
But you
to
didn't
fight
say
this
that.
stuff. Huh?
You took that kiss. You didn't
Huh?
stop and say, "Hey, mom."
No, but that's what this time is for COVID. It's just like taking shit like that on the chin because you don't want to
I'm
be.
gonna
No
take
one
COVID
wants
on
to.
the chin.
You know what I mean? No one wants to be that guy. It's like I don't want to be. No one wants to admit how scary they are about the thing. So we just kind of stay at a pace
Yeah.
or stay away.
Yeah.
Be on our antisocial stuff. So, anyways, but even with that, I'm happy for immediate family that I do get to see. I am happy that I get a chance to mom to give me a kiss on the cheek as a 30-year-old with the kids and being around. At this point in time, we just got the house. We're very excited about that. Think about the backdrop, and we get a chance to. And
I didn't even think it was real.
We're gonna be closing by the end of the year, moving in around January 1st, and it's gonna be the backdrop.
Real out here.
All these memories that we have that we want to do here while Carter's young and being around his cousins and like that type of upbringing that we had.
Yeah.
Here in Louisville, we're going to we have the house that's going to be the backdrop for that. And when it's time to get up and go to California, whenever that is, it's a matter of we're blessed enough to be able to keep the house here and like have a house in Louisville, or if we have to rent it out because we need the income, or if we sell it just to re-up on the money that we put into it. So I'm excited about that, but very, very thankful for family, very thankful in this time period. And also family that's not blood, like the friends and relationships and bonds that we make over our lifetimes that are just become more than family. I'm extremely thankful for my friends that have graduated to family in a certain way, shape, or form, and I'm excited to continue to be able to link up with them. I see a lot of people saying like check on your people, check on your people and stuff. And I tried to hit Quillen the other day just to chop with him. We missed each other, but it just felt good even attempting to reach out. You know what I mean? And just kind of just trying to connect when you can connect. So yes, very thankful for family. Glad that we have the opportunity to continue to.
You better call the white
Yeah.
back.
Oh my gosh.
You
Yo,
better
I'm
call the
like,
white back. Hey,
no,
y'all.
listen, that was.
The
Let
white
me
does
tell you
not
about that.
play. He told me. I clarified with him. When he calls you once, he gives you a day, and he expects a call back. If you do not call him back in
Right.
that day, you better, because he's listening right now,
Yeah.
Brandon. Right
No,
now.
and I don't think this is an important time to talk about this too. You make sure you live on whatever expectations you set for yourself. Because if you let your family and friends dictate how you move out here, then you're just putting more anxiety and nerves on you. And I decide to shun things like that. So yeah, there is no I better do anything because I'm just doing everything and living every day to the fullest every time. But yes, check on your people.
Check on your peoples, y'all. Check on your peoples.
And that's what Dwight did for me. He's calling me and checking up on me.
Yeah.
And it was nice to hear that he was trying to reach out. And
But-
then
but that's
it
what
flipped
you're talking
to a
about.
threatening thing of like I better call somebody back. And say,
But when
okay,
you're-
maybe not.
But B, the picture you're painting is like,
Mine.
boom, and it's beautiful. Me and you was talking about that, right? Like we are the authors of our children's stories. We are the authors of like the background and the foundation of our children and their cousins, like all that immediate family stretched out. It's funny that you have that feeling that like we was with everybody when we was younger, but I feel like our first cousins. I mean, we definitely in the summer, right? Rain and Tasha and them, at least like we would like those was first cousins that we was close to.
Yeah.
Like here, we was close. We close with Lana and them and Trez and Anthony. We close with them. We close with our second cousins for somewhat. I don't know, B. I feel like what me and you are gonna have for our children is gonna be way more brother sister ish.
Why can't it be for the siblings that and the cousins that we have now?
Because of distance, because of time, because of things and like ways that we kind of progressed or grew up. And I've always feel like there's because me and you grew up the same way. We can kind of get where me and you are coming from, and we can kind of get on one accord, or at least see what we're talking about. I feel like I'm lacking that kind of background history of just kind of being in that close proximity with them on a regular basis. And I feel like there's a large amount of folks that just don't have don't have that closeness with their family. Like we are not thankful for like people, family will do the worst, family will do you dirt. I see a lot of those posts. A lot of those posts are like, family will stab you in the back for your friends will, you gotta watch your family. They be the ones, all these people that have been kind of broken by their family. It's like, and then you talk about those people that you kind of put in your circle, who become family over time. I just always think about like, what does it mean for them? Like, what does Thanksgiving mean for them?
For who?
The folk that aren't close to their real family, the folk that don't have that closeness with their blood or close of kin.
What do you think it means for them?
Friendsgiving.
Yeah, I mean, that
like it's really important. I mean, it was COVID right now, so I don't know if that looks
that's what I
like a
was saying.
Zoom call.
It's
with food.
that's why it's an interesting time right now, especially to talk about Thanksgiving for the people that aren't estranged from their families. But like I think it's all up to us individually of like what you want to happen and how fast you want to have. If you want to continue to lick the wounds of like torn things of the family, then you'll continue to do that. If you want to work on those relationships, like whatever you're talking about when it comes to if people want to talk to you or not, or you want to be close to your family and your cousins and know their background, I think it's like simple as like asking the questions. Because we have siblings that we didn't get an opportunity to grow up close with, and I remember when I was first moved to New York City, was working there. I was playing like a month-long game of 21 Questions with Chelsea just to like get to know her, and like it's just because like that's an important thing. Like I don't think the distance, all the different excuses we can make for the family, because my whole thing is like I don't want to be exclusive with Carter and the family and like the extent of it. Like I want him to recognize what it's like to be a full grown adult and get told that this is your cousin and this person's important to because of that, and him like, I don't know that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Sage. My nephew from Taylor, our sister. We say sister on purpose, but our stepsister. But I haven't met Sage the way you have. I haven't been around him, and I was on the phone talking to Dad and Mama C, and they were saying like, say hi to Uncle BJ. He's like, I don't know him.
Oh.
And every day was like, oh, and I was like, yes, good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Good. Growing up, Sydney's 6 years our junior. At one point in time, she told me and was bragging about how she was you were her favorite brother and I wasn't. And Lance was like, oh, come on. I was like I know, like that's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all in this family together. Mm-hmm. We all have our realistic separations between family members and stuff. And some of those we can understand a lot better because we have that same type of relationship with friends that were once close. But those are easily kind of pushed to the wind when you feel a little bit worse about family or not, if that's what you're bringing up. But I think times like this and Thanksgiving, once you've been so much in the like moving around and experienced so many things in the world, families and those relationships and how those work, good, bad, or indifferent, just ground me in a way that reminds me of exactly who I am. Because that person that I think about as myself gets lost as I, go through the world, introduce to other people. Like, one of the best parts about going to college for me was that it was cool to see who I was via the things that people liked about me at home. These new strangers liked about me as well. I took those as like, oh, okay, this is Brandon, right? And I think family gives us that, and but that's why I think that's all part of it. Like Lachey, where I reached out to her a little bit after her birthday, just like a happy belated whatever, and she didn't hit me back. But then she's been trying to hit Mom back and things like that, and like that's like a whatever, like wherever that's going to go for. Our sister Lachey, like it may not be this Thanksgiving, it could be another, it may not be another Thanksgiving where we're together, but the whole purpose is I don't think those books are ever closed, especially when it comes to family and like.
So you're saying that there's an open book just because we're family, like just because
we're people and there's relationships, because we're talking about relationships and friends, like if there's real moment, like life is all about moments, you know what I'm saying? So like if these moments are shared and those moments are significant to you, then I don't think that changes ever. Like that, you can have moved on for the things that you find important, but that doesn't change like the reality of where you were at that point in life with those people and who those people were to you.
Yeah, right.
If they're family or friends or just people that was living in the same house.
No matter what part they developed your personality in some way. They developed who you are sitting here right now in some way and influenced it.
And in my opinion, because of that, they are always important to me. But that's my like look at it, and that's what I'm.
I think that's a good segue to evolution. Like, thankful for the evolution of kind of healing. It was so funny. I was talking to this professor, shout out to mine, about past traumas or generational curses. I said generational curses. He doesn't believe in generational curses, right? And me and him got into a nice, healthy discussion about like what it means. What does generational curses like to think that it's bad, to think magic or some type of wrong, and then thinking of it as a systematic like choice that people like our elders made, like our forefathers.
When you think of generational curses, that's how you think of it? You think of it as like a uncontrollable?
I don't think it's uncontrollable, but it definitely comes from some energy that existed within the family line. Like, I believe energy is passed down through bloodlines, right?
You don't think that's behavioral?
I mean, behavioral that was influenced by what? So, like, let's think of alcoholism. They say alcoholism is a generational curse, right? But somebody will argue it's not a curse. He saw his father drink a lot, or she saw.
It's nature versus nurture conversation. It's a nature versus nurture conversation. It is the generational curses, because it's like, is this instinctually in you? Or is it something that you saw habitually done, and therefore you think of this as the way that is normal?
Right.
And you act, for you to latch on normalcy in your identity, you do what you saw. Versus it being something. No, I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying we attach ourselves to one or the other, is what I'm saying. Like, you lean more into the I have no control over this. This is just something that's been in my family. Look at look at these pictures, and you know, all the look at what I came from versus the other side. Like what? Oh, saying that it's influenced by society. That it's like I don't know where we going.
No, because nature. You're saying that family curse. I'm saying that you're saying that a family curse is nature versus nurture, in how you and this other person were debating about it, and I'm saying that it's. I would argue that it's more on the free will side, and I think that's probably where the person that was you were arguing against, the professor you said you were arguing.
We weren't
with.
arguing. He said argue and debate several times. I introduced that thought with the discussion. We had a healthy, heavy discussion on it. So I just want to clarify.
I was saying the words that you said.
I didn't say argue or debate. Like wait till you run it back. It's gonna be great. But I didn't say.
We had an argument about it.
I didn't say argument, Brandon.
Okay.
Oh yay! And so y'all, if y'all didn't know, Brandon edits the videos and everything else. So this is one of those will he be right or wrong situation. So I bet you $10
Okay.
that I said me and a professor had a healthy discussion or conversation.
Okay. The more words you add to it, the more it's like your
Whatever.
time on Family Feud.
You see what it is?
Okay.
See what it is.
Okay, but go back to the thing, or with the conversation.
I'm not talking about that conversation.
The family
specifically.
curse?
Yeah.
With the evolution.
Yeah. I'm not talking about all of that. I wanted to come off of that and have it branch to the evolution that we just kind of see in general. I wanted to name that one transition thankful. Like I'm thankful for the transition that people are going through right now and the adaptation that folk are trying to do right now. Like, and then the transitions of power, right? The transitions of, I mean, it's wild to think about the energy that folks from the top or presumed to be in power like are trying to correct the L's of the past and the way they're going about it. I mean, it's just this trial and error reflex exercise that we're going through as a humanity. Like,
What do you
as
mean by that,
people.
though?
Okay, so let's talk about specifics. There are organizations, nonprofits, and the like, right, that are historically white, have always had like a higher employee staff with like, you know, white folk. I don't know how to say that other than like
No,
there's wealth in the country. A lot of the wealth in the country is owned by the white quote unquote establishments,
yeah.
right? And the establishments that exist are scrambling to try to PR their way to some type of
Have some black representation.
something like a auditing, social equity auditing. That's a new thing, like where you can hire a social equity auditor to come into your companies, kind of look at your histories and give you steps to do to correct what you've done in the past. But I say that to say that they're still falling short. It's very upsetting.
What do you mean by?
I think that we are just going back to something more, or not going back, excuse me, going forward. Okay, that's what I meant. Our thoughts, right? What is considered bad, what is considered good. Have you seen the new Animaniacs? Brandon.
Yeah, I've seen
Brandon Newman.
I've seen right now. I guess I've been watching I've been watching the first couple episodes of the original, and that was I've been kind of wrapping my mind around the foulness of that. No, it's funny, but it's very adult. It's like very inside L.A. Hollywood, because they live on the Warner studio lot, so it's kind of about, and like the whole
Warner Brothers. And the
Warner
Warner
Brothers,
sister died. And the Warner sister died. Don't forget her.
But the Warner,
yeah.
You
gonna fuck with Dot.
But yeah, no, it's the
So you haven't seen any of the new episodes though on Hulu?
no.
It's absolutely amazing. I've always loved Animaniacs. I thought that they taught a lot when they did their episodes, and I think that they are teaching once again. The way that they're trying to how they catch up with stuff is just hilarious and everything else. But
Like a South Park or something?
no, like so they're opening right. Me, Pinky, and the Brain, who wanted you to rule the universe. I think the new episode or the new intro says we're gender neutral and have diversity in our bursts or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it switched it up. It don't do the Mindy chases Mindy. It don't do any of that. It's switching up. It's like we are now conscious of what we can say. And like the episodes will be like, oh, in '93 that would have got us canceled, you know what I mean? Or like,
Oh,
you know,
that's
like
great.
we were tripping back then, type thing. And
They
it's like,
it's wild.
Thought.
It's wild, but it is cool that they're evolving. I guess that's what we kind of see when we were coming up. We kind of saw that like the Backyardigans was such an interesting TV show because there was a bunch of different like.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you never? Yeah, I mean, it was.
Backyardigans?
Huh?
Watch the Backyardigans.
I'm evolving the conversation to say that Backyardigans was, as we were, the evolution of animated cartoons was on the way with a show like Backyardigans that started in '04 that had 5 main characters: Austin, Uniqua, Pablo, Tyrone, and Tasha.
Fire.
So like that, but those are all different like
I did
animals.
not know that was the. Well, I don't know now.
But that's
that
what I'm
names is- What was what's her name? Shaniqua.
Uniqua. Yeah.
What animal was she?
She was, if I'm not mistaken, she was a hippopotamus.
What? So why the hippopotamus always got to be black? Jada Pinkett. What's up with hippopotamus and black women? Why are they synonymous? And then who?
It's true.
What,
I mean, I'm sure if you dig deep enough in most things, you can find problematic stuff. But when it comes to as deep as the kids was like thinking about, Uniqua is just the homie.
Which is a great segue to entertainment thankful. So obviously you're thankful for the entertainment that Backyardigans is giving you with this bilingual cast of moose and penguin and
they were not bilingual.
Hippopotamus. So entertainment, what
Where
are you
did we get
thankful?
that?
What are you entertainment thankful for?
I'm thankful for entertainment. I really am. Not necessarily always on television, not necessarily always the NFL, football, sports, but you guys, these individual channels. Social media has made it so that individual people and names are channels that we just love to check in on and love to see what they're doing. And it comes to a point where we just like people's content. Me personally, I've been losing a lot of followers, and I love it because it's less people to engage in, or less people that aren't fans of what I'm trying to do and me figuring myself out. So I would like my audience to be as potent as possible. Those people are actually in it for whoever Brandon Newman is at this point in time in 2020 as a 30-year-old, and yeah, and can come along with the show as it grows, and we learn together. Because I'm trying to give people more of what they like, and also figure out the things that I like as well. So shouts out to each of you individually as individual channels in entertainment. You guys are promoting and being creative, and also just giving everyone else ideas. We're all inspiring as all boats rise. You know, we see each other do creative things. I was just on the Podigal Sons podcast. Not Podigal Sons, I apologize. New Podsflow podcast.
New Podflow.
Yes,
Burning
if you're-
Stig. What's up, boy?
Yes, all the people that are here to hear
Y'all go follow that.
dirt on Barstool and the situation and how I landed here back in Louisville, go check out that podcast. But it was they're in Louisville, and it's at Steve's place, and I was looking at how they're doing things, and there's so much that we can learn from each other. So shouts out to everyone being entertainment in your everyday life, looking at things and thinking, oh, how can I share this with the world? How can I make this funny? J. Cole said on that last song, some niggas make millions, other niggas make memes. And I was like, what I didn't like about that was like, okay, but can we talk about the importance of
Memes.
whatever the industry is that lives on social media? Because as much as I would like to live in the real world too, there's this whole other world on social media that you don't know what it is. Then it's 2020 and you're hearing no cap for the first time.
And you got to keep up with it. I mean, it is ever changing. It is the most fluid kind of artificial intelligence of humanity, like the teller. And, you know, to those who, you know, at the beginning, he said he's thankful for the people who have unfollowed him. All right. He is thankful for y'all. And I have a question. Like, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? I mean, because you got to be. You got to be. Yeah, I don't see how you couldn't be entertained. And I did all of that so that I could push. Okay. But like, it's not about like that. That's the thing about the entertainment that you're seeing from individuals. People are kind of going in their own lane. They're kind of like doing the things that they're good at, or
Would like to be
things
good
they
at.
know would like to be good at, right? And it's like it's inspiring. That's why it's catching on so much, because it's like average people. We are no longer spoon fed our celebrities, right? We now have a nice buffet of choices of what kind of content we want to ingest, what
Yeah.
kind of content it used to be, before internet, and we remember that, y'all. We remember dial up. We remember like,
We remember asking Jeeves before we asked Google.
come on, what? Talk about Google Maps, boy. I had 3 pieces of paper. Is this one coming up? Paper gone. Is this turn coming up?
Oh, you talking about MapQuest?
MapQuest, when you had to print them out though. You had to print out your directions.
But that was if you had ink and
you ain't never have ink,
because you was messing around with printing
had
stuff
ink, you
off
was rich.
printing stuff off paint that you need to be printing off. Lance used to be so wasteful with my mom's paper. I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I know everyone probably was, but like you were definitely.
So what Brandon calls wasteful, my daughter does a lot. Zoe, she's my 9-year-old. She likes to just use one piece of paper and I'll be like, you're being wasteful. Or like, we got the Polaroid camera and the film is expensive, so it's not like you about to just be happy-go-lucky. Ooh, let me see the camera. Ooh, let me see the camera. Ooh, let me see the camera. It's not about to be a lot of that. So like, that's it's not wasteful. She's trying to be creative, but my pockets ain't got it. Now, I understand I did that to my mother, right?
Yes.
So I give her some leeway. You know what I mean? I let her be a little wasteful. And look at me now. Look at what that way, that excess was trying to fine tune the artist that you see in front of you.
So this great versus battle,
man,
took place earlier last week. Now, originally it was supposed to be Jeezy versus T.I.
I didn't know that.
And we were thinking like the first hits, that was going to be a heavy hitter thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if it was like T.I. Justin Timberlake tracks is going to really do well against anything off Thug Motivation when it comes to like battling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Gucci came into the picture. T.I. gracefully bowed out, said this one's most important for the culture. We didn't think it was going to be possible. Gucci Mane was talking crap on social media, calling him the snow cap man or snow cone crap, and stuff like that. Anyways, the event happened, and it was mightily aggressive for all of us. And it did so many great numbers. It was like, I think it was like 9 million collectively on the different streaming platforms. That many people watching Gucci and Jeezy.
It was 1.7 on Instagram.
Do an entire battle. You were watching on Instagram.
I was watching on Instagram.
I was watching on Apple TV.
Interesting.
And I didn't see enough comments. I wanted to see what was the comment section like during the battle.
First of all, it was everybody famous, which I thought was really cool. That's the only reason why. Like, we haven't watched Verzuz. To be clear, me and Brandon haven't. Really
I've seen
watched
some of them, but
I
definitely haven't seen
some of them.
I haven't seen. Oh, so you saw them like
clips from different ones.
Yes.
And like I would start, but like there were all types of famous people. I'm talking blue check after blue check. I feel like people who were regular they like the algorithm blocked their comment from showing up.
They were saving those people for what you're saying is true, and they were saving those people for Apple Music, because we were saying some regular people just on some bricks.
Yeah, stupid stuff. No, it was famous people just kind of. Ariana Lennox. It was everybody, and they were all just like kind of giving it up for the ones that they like. A lot of them was rocking with Gucci, and then Jeezy pulled his.
When did the crowd switch to Jeezy? Because obviously
towards the end,
when Gucci came out with his mixtape and it was like, or with his diss track Off the Top, that was crazy. When he said, "Look at my opponent," when he was like calling them all kinds of bitches and whatever, and said little Jeezy, it was all it looked like it go left at any point in time. And Jeezy was keeping it cool. You could tell. I tweeted jokingly saying Jeezy's been listening to the podcast. When he like really kind of like stopped it, because after Truth was played, I can't believe Gucci played Truth.
Yeah.
Did you hear it before the song?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a and that's like that was real hip hop.
You know, Jeezy put a hit on Gucci though. That's what happened.
I read Gucci Mane's autobiography.
Okay.
So I know the details of that. Yes, very. I mean, yes, that's what the.
So
the
that's
song
I
Truth
feel
is
like
about.
that's the reason why Jeezy could come to him, could be the mature person in that situation. He was never the target. It's like because like they were looking at Gucci Mane like, oh, he was being childish and like he was just being
No,
toxic
his feelings was hurt because he's always held
Right.
because he came after him and he had to kill Pookie Loke, who was Jeezy's homeboy who died when they set up Gucci and was trying to run up on him back in 06.
Right.
Not 06, it was before that. No, it was around 06, yeah, because that's when Gucci went away for as long as he did. Yeah, no, but that's why the level of disrespect from Gucci was crazy.
Yeah.
Like he said his homeboy's name and he's like,
Yep.
we're going to be smoking on that Pookie Luck.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my Lanta.
But then Jeezy
Atlanta.
comes through. But then Jeezy comes through with the grown man, just very
How you gonna be grown man and not dressed grown man? It was like the attitudes of each individual was swept in their attire or like flipped in their attire.
They were flipped. They were completely flipped. Gucci was definitely talking that jersey, that basketball jersey talk.
Leather basketball jersey.
Leather basketball jersey
bandana
talk. Definitely. And then Jeezy definitely should have been in some turtleneck, long sleeve, cream colored suit. That's definitely the process. But we saw the wisdom, right? We saw the wisdom, and it sombered everybody. I was literally sitting there watching it, and I was like, and he said that because I saw him do it, and then I saw him play it. Latoya was like mad at me. She was like cleaning up stuff because like I wasn't paying attention to the kids when it started, and I was just like, this is what's going to happen. And he said, da 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 da. I was like, he's right though. He's so right, Jeezy. Yes, you are right. The youth are looking at you. These beefs and these perpetuated stuff. Yes, the people
this happened
love
before
you.
half the people watching was alive. For some people just know that they beefing and like, you know what I mean. But like that's why I think. And people like that was the theatrics of Gucci. Like, no, Gucci was waiting that long to let Jeezy know that he was still hurt by that, and still he got a body because of Jeezy. Like, and they had to go out publicly, and that's why when So Icy played. Let me just say this before we get to that part. I, as such a Gucci stan, very just honestly about like just who he is, getting it from the mud type of person. Not that Jeezy wasn't that guy. I forget the hits that I know from Jeezy to the point like those songs had to be played before I knew them word for word, or like, and maybe it's like one of those things where I don't even know the name of the song. I just know all the words in them when it comes to some Jeezy cuts, because that Thug Motivation 101 was so great. Thug Motivation 103, so great. There's like hits that Gucci or that Jeezy didn't play. That are from that. I'm
a Gucciite. I'm not familiar with
but
Jeezy's work
so
at
none of
all.
those songs that came on, you didn't recognize them?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the early stuff was like more too Snowman. Because remember in Newburgh, everybody had them Snowman shirts on back in the day when Jeezy first came out.
I think I wanted one. I'm almost
Positive
I wanted a Snowman shirt, and it could never. I think that was before I actually had money. I was still ask grandma for some change age.
Yes.
Thank God though, because I don't need any of those pictures to pop up in my life.
Right.
Like any of the pictures people could pull up on me, tall tee and all. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna catch me in no Snowman shirt, no clear forces, no white buffs.
Clear forces. That's funny because Lance was the Air Force. Like when Air Force Ones came out, we was at the store. And whatever colorway they had, Lance needed a pair of them. And I was just sitting over there, just like chilling. Like, okay, when can we go back to the cartoons? When can we get back to the TV dinners? And
social acceptance was important to me.
Yeah, and food and cartoons was important to me. So let's talk about continuing this versus battles. People were saying next level, and I heard some other things. Mariah Carey they were saying just different verses that
right.
People saying they want to see Mariah Carey and Beyonce go at it, what?
Beyonce's gonna blow her out the fucking water.
That is not true. That
What?
is not true. People hearing
What?
Beyonce's one of the only people that can go up against Mariah Carey.
No. Nope. I'm not giving Mariah Carey that.
And I hear you. There's more Beyonce songs that I can name and give you the lyrics to than I know Mariah Carey songs, but that doesn't change the fact that Mariah Carey is like on a very GOAT level when it comes to the hits that she has. Like,
All
We're in
right.
the holiday season. She's the only person alive that's made a Christmas
That's the
song.
only song that you can accredit to her.
No, are you kidding me?
No, I'm saying like that's the only. Damn, that is her. Ain't it? That's only one though. It's only two. Hold on. Anything. I could pick anything.
No,
if you like it, then you should have put
listen,
it. There, you do not want to.
The argument was we know what the Beyonce songs is. I'm saying you don't know the Mariah Carey songs.
My argument.
I just hummed a Mariah Carey song to you that I don't know the name of, but I know it's gonna sweep up one of Beyonce's Destiny's Child joints.
Stop that. That's one bee that you've killed among a swarm.
But I'm saying I don't even know the name.
She has a whole hive. Mariah Carey ain't got no hive. She has no fan base that has their own identity.
They were glitter as a whole.
Are you trying to tell me that? Are you trying to tell me that Mariah Carey's base can like even come close to Beyonce's base?
Not on social media, but in real life, yes.
Not in any capacity.
Lance.
Brandon.
Mariah Carey versus Beyonce
would be terrible. That's unnecessary. That's
what do you think Mariah Carey is? Like, who are you envisioning as Mariah Carey when it comes to like her in these song streets?
She should do like Whitney Houston. She's of that era. It's like Anita Baker versus.
Do you not understand? Like that's like
Ari Lennox.
But do you hear that? Like that's those. For you to compare, for the next person to come out of your mouth as Whitney Houston, gives validity to what I'm talking about. How Mariah Carey is a hit maker.
Whitney Houston. No, I mean I'm not saying that she's not a hit maker. I'm saying she's not on Beyonce level. Whitney Houston against Beyonce, I'll take that one. That's definitely gonna break up a few of the Beehive. But Mariah Carey is not.
You're making these battles based on the Beehive. Whitney Houston would mop the floor with Beyonce. You kidding me? It wouldn't be fair.
Who? Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston would have to go
that's
against
fine. That's fine.
Aretha Franklin.
Again, again I'm talking about that is it's a LeBron James versus Jordan versus Wilt Chamberlain conversation now, and I want something of Mariah Carey's age range when she was popular, like Mariah Carey versus Angie Stone or something like that. Like
Angie Stone,
who cares? Jill Scott, they already did theirs. But do you know what I'm saying? Mariah Carey is not of Beyonce's age range. Like that's not a weight class. It's not a fair weight class. And then weight class is age class.
But I understand what you're saying. But you would
have there been any of those?
Lance, I'm trying to say. I don't understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to tell you there are certain people that are listening to this that would think that Mariah Carey isn't in Beyonce's weight class because Beyonce is not in that weight class.
If you are listening to this and you believe that Mariah Carey is in Beyonce's weight class, you are on butt, and you are. Brandon is the captain of on butt team, and y'all are.
I would
But
I would probably pick Beyonce just because people are slaves of the moment, but like. Mariah Carey. It's Mariah Carey.
I know many Careys.
And this was just literally this is going X amount of minutes on like a
I
side
you
note.
Want to go to the
because
right.
I'm trying to tell you the battles the verses that.
But you were trying to say the cartoon verses, which is another ridiculous.
No, you cut me off while I was introing it, but continue, now you do it.
Because like the goofy idea that you have that Mariah Carey can beat Beyonce is as cartoon and animated as this Nickelodeon versus Disney beef or is it Cartoon Network? Is Nickelodeon versus Cartoon Network?
You would intro it incorrectly.
I saw the little picture. I saw where it was like people going against each other. I'm sorry, Nickelodeon. I really love Nickelodeon. Like Nickelodeon is my foundation, but I gotta give that to Cartoon Network. Like that Cartoon Network is the they had those. It's the stuff rappers make raps about. Nobody raps about Nickelodeon cartoons. Like every bar you hear a rapper say.
In that Crank That range, we all tapped out when Crank That SpongeBob came because we was like, nah, we can't do that with our legs. Remember the Crank That thing?
Yeah.
Crank That SpongeBob was too hard. That's just proof that SpongeBob has been in
There was
in
a
raps.
Crank That SpongeBob?
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't recognize that, but I recognize a lot of
the 2 year difference that we were talking about before.
I've heard a lot of rappers talk about Johnny Bravo. I've heard them talk about like Dexter's Laboratory or
Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Ed, Edd n Eddy. I hear about those.
Shouts out to
Jawbreaker, like you know what I mean.
Jaddy.
I've heard a lot of rappers reference.
You haven't heard anybody rap about the Rugrats?
No.
You haven't heard anybody rap about the Angry Beavers?
I have a rap about the Rugrats.
You haven't heard anybody rap about the Thornsberries?
No. Have you?
Yes, I'm only naming things that I've heard people rap about.
Rap
Rocket Power.
Yeah, that was weak.
What was weak?
Rocket Power, man. It was a trash cartoon. Invader Zim.
What? Okay, let me keep going. You never heard anybody rap about Rocco's Modern Life?
Yeah.
You haven't heard anybody rap about Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
Those Cartoon Networks.
No, those are Nickelodeon.
No.
Ren and Stimpy?
And the other one I
Brandon,
mentioned.
Ren and Stimpy was Cartoon Network? I think that
I said
is wrong.
Nickelodeon. You said Cartoon Network. I said no.
Oh, Brandon's gonna lose twice. I can't wait for you to edit this stuff.
We just I can.
Can't wait for you to edit this. Go back. Go back on your video.
But I'm telling you, you said I was naming Nickelodeon things that people have rapped about.
Yeah, and I was like agreeing, and that's why I was like, oh yeah, you right. Oh yeah, you right. And then you said Cartoon Network, and I said you mean Nickelodeon, and then you said no, Cartoon Network, and then you went into this. Look, watch, just play it back. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, that's an interesting versus. I'll be down to watch that versus. I think we will all. That's one of the verses that we all win. Like Gucci fans who don't really know Jeezy and Jeezy fans who don't really know Gucci. You know, both of it was like muffled, and we only both won when it was so icy. But the Cartoon Network one, like you gonna get feels no matter who's going in that. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter
How would
what
that
cartoon.
be conducted? Just like a popular scene from each.
Yeah.
Because say a scene from Mojo Jojo and the Powderpuff Girls up against the Rugrats and
No,
Miss
man.
Dr. Lipschitz.
No. It gotta be category. So like, what is another superhero? What is the comparison, right, to the superhero?
Oh, you can't do that because what if the other cartoon series doesn't?
Well, I'm saying,
have one?
I mean, you could just pick a right. But you could just, I mean, Samurai Jack. Come on, bro. It's Cartoon Network we're talking about. It's Toonami we're talking about. This is Toonami we're talking about, Brandon. All right, ain't no Nick at Night, ain't no fucking I Love Lucy, ain't no all that Keenan and Kel. These are time-honored tradition. Legends of the Hidden Temple, Global Guts. These are all Nickelodeon.
Are those allowed to be in
I would definitely
animation domination battle? Because I
definitely.
thought you were arguing. I was thinking that Cartoon Network are so deep with cartoons that you can see them sweeping up the floor. But if we start bringing in some live action.
Well, I'm thinking about just the foundation on which our childhoods and the childhoods of America were founded upon. It was like, especially for the age of TV, millennials and blah, blah, blah. It's like, when you think about Nickelodeon was like, okay, cool, you can only enjoy it for so long, then the content changes and it's no longer your content no more. While Adult Swim turned your like more mature, like going through puberty self.
But Toonami existed before Adult Swim did.
I mean, that's dope. Even better. Adult Swim is making some moves to acquire some proper content. While
so you're saying if we open it up to live action of Nickelodeon, the Pete and Pete's in the world and all that, and the Amanda shows and the Nick Cannon shows.
Oh nah,
and all
then
that stuff.
They would kill them out.
I'm saying
Cousin Skeeter, that would kill them out. They had Animorphs. Nickelodeon had Animorphs. Yeah,
talking about things that get brought back.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. I mean, including that, if we're going straight on animation,
so straight on animation,
Cartoon Network off top.
Cartoon Network would clean up the way Jeezy cleaned up Gucci because the hits are bigger.
Yep.
Now, if we're bringing in Adult Swim anime, like anything that's come on Cartoon Network and anything that comes on Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon got some syndicated shows that might end up being like, ooh,
yeah.
Now that's a battle for the
Salute Your Shorts. Nickelodeon got like their deep pockets of content. Classics.
Yeah. So I'm just thankful for entertainment in general. Also, let's just talk about some technological advances.
Okay.
That top 10 for Netflix, I appreciate it.
Do you?
I like to see where the world is at. It's like knowing that This Is Us is a huge television show is cool. I don't mean I gotta watch it, and I'm not going to watch it.
Right.
But it's cool to see what everybody's on. Right. But that doesn't necessarily have to sway that's why I like where it's at in the Netflix thing. It's like a little bit low. It's not at the very, very top. It's not like you have to be watching what everybody else is watching. But also just kind of let you know the plethora of content that's out there and kind of open it up. Like I tried that Zeus's Blood thing. Did you watch that?
I didn't know. I'm going to watch it though. I'm going to. I'm going to. I
Trying
like
to make
their
it more
stuff.
gory and stuff like that. I don't know, but yes, there's plenty of things. But that's the problem with these streaming things. Like you said, you want to be thankful for the streamings. There's just so much everywhere.
It is. It's so
You can
much.
spend
It's so much.
the amount of time you used to spend on TV Guide channel watching the thing scroll and wait for your
It's the
channel to
same.
come back. As much as you like watching previews and autoplay previews, and I'm not really in this show. And it's like you got to give yourself patience because you ready to turn it off within the first 5 minutes.
The quickness.
Instagram has affected our Netflix watching.
Instagram interferes while you looking for a channel. So you'll be on your social media, you'll be looking for a channel, get distracted by your social media, and then be on your social media while you was looking for a channel, which has now made your channel looking a longer process.
Yeah, exactly. What entertainment are you thankful for?
The streaming sites, unfortunately, I know that it is like each of them cost a different amount. There's hit or miss always. You can scroll through those just like you can scroll through a channel set and not find nothing to watch, right? You can do both on both.
Yep.
But there are those times, Brandon. There are those times when you find gems, when you find, oh, I ain't seen this in a minute, or you find just movies that kind of throw you back. So Latoya she didn't grow up with movies, right? So her thing, like she didn't they didn't watch movies. She was outside playing, or she was doing something that was analog, like it was no, and we'll watch something and she'll always be like, when this come out? She always, that's the line. That lets me know she has not seen the show at all. And
When this come out?
yeah, when this come out? We watch something and then like something good will happen, and it'll be something I've seen 1,000 times, right? Like,
Right.
So I am thankful for those things. I'm thankful for people trying out new things.
Michelle, for one, she says every new movie she watches is the first time she watched it because she forgets everything once it's done. Like she'll be in the moment and forget it. None of her mental energy is made from memorizing things that happen in pop culture.
She don't do like, if you do a phrase real quick or say, got some contact back here, boys. Like, or no, that's not. Nobody knows it when I say that.
I don't even know what you're
That's
talking
the wood.
Oh.
When they were smoking in the car, they start choking
yes,
right
yes.
before they got pulled over. We got every time somebody coughs, I'll be like, got a little contact back here, boys.
Oh, yes. But that's the thing. No, if those things become a part of everyday life, then yeah, like my our infamous from the Goofy movie. Hey, yo, Stacy, talk to me, baby. So like that type of stuff, like there's that, but when it comes to just like a regular movie and TV shows, like she completely forgets it. So, and also in Florida, they was taxing for the Disney Channel, so it was like premier television like HBO, and her family didn't pay for it. So all the original Disney movies and all the other stuff she has no idea about because Florida was not letting people who lived in Florida have the Disney Channel free of charge.
Look at that.
So a lot of stuff that's we watch now.
That's why y'all like y'all are Florida. That's why y'all got Florida man and Florida woman just hunting y'all. That's why y'all like y'all, because y'all ain't have Disney.
It's Disney's
y'all
fault.
ain't get programmed.
Also, speaking of
regular society,
just to go back to social media, I think that when people retweet stuff, it's pretty much like, Well, I'll say this: when I retweet something, a lot of times I'm like, damn, I wish I had thought of that or said that or like brought that point up because I agree with it or whatever. KFC from Barstool had this really long post about the Disney and the D in Disney and how he's always thought it was a backwards G, and he's always like always messed him up mentally. And I'm so mad he got to that first because I've always felt that way about that damn like magic wand Disney D. I've always looked at it, and I guess it was like at that point in time I was like, okay, whatever you see, you have to like connect that to what you hear, because it doesn't matter what you see, because what you hear, like those things are together. Like Disney, people just saying Disney and telling me that emblem was a D would always mess me up.
Well, it should mess you up. Do you not remember all the movies that they had hidden sexual subliminal things?
There's nothing to do with
words.
There's nothing to
like
do with
conspiracy.
There's nothing to do with the writing of the word. The word looks like Disney, and it looks like a backwards G, and it doesn't look like a D.
First of all, I would argue, what is jizz?
Disney?
What is jizz?
Would it G? I don't know. It would be different than Jis. I wouldn't be pronounced it. I don't think it would be pronounced like that.
I'm saying if you think it's a G, then it's pronounced like that in your mind, right? Like subliminally.
No, I'm saying
you're
early
watching
on.
Disney,
Early on, I
but you're
like
thinking,
separated like what I like sounding things out from what I see.
I'm having deja vu. First of all, second of all, did you see that how the two things tie together, right? Like
Yeah, no.
the promiscuous and crazy stuff that was happening that they hid in Aladdin when he says, "How about you and me go and scat? Oh, good kids, take off your clothes." Right,
Yes.
that was whispered
Yes.
in the Disney movie. It was like a subliminal thing.
Penises were on the front cover of the Little Mermaid.
Penises. There was all these things that came out about
Sex was in the dust when you jumped on the
when Lion King, when
Yeah.
Simba puts on the thing. I was trying to look them up all right here.
Yeah.
But do you not see how the tie to the theory, how those visuals were subliminal? So of course the immediate visual that you get from them is also going to be subliminal.
What immediate message do I get from them?
Disney. Jizz.
Isn't that spelled differently?
This is how you pronounced it.
I know.
Of course,
Disney.
yeah, but of course it's
You're
it's
saying
spelled differently. How your mind said it though is how it's, how it's going to be. Other people are probably sharing, that sentiment. Like I would have pronounced it that way as well.
So you said because of his last name, they put sexual innuendos in.
No, I'm saying because you see a G and not a D.
It looks like a G. Like I'm getting that from what it looks like. What do you mean? Like I'm not making it up. It looks like a backwards G. And they people just look me dead in my face. Look at that. They do the little thing in the thing with the magic wand, and they make a little crazy backwards G, and then they say Disney. So that crazy little D symbol, that's a G, is damn near hieroglyphics, means Disney. That hieroglyphic symbol means Disney. Yes. And you're saying it means Disney, and I'm saying it can mean whatever. But it's messed me up. Disney.
This
Can't
whole
stand it.
conversation has messed me up, to be honest. Like I feel like I need to smoke. Okay, so look, this is our third 20-minute sets, right? So I want to kind of wrap up. We're going to wrap up with the future. All right, the future of thanks, future thankful, right? I don't know. I wanted this segment. I came up with this segment, y'all, and I'm like, Aristotle and Nostradamus and all these folk, right? They had predictions, right? There's prophets in biblical times,
yeah.
right? There's all these people that have predictions, and some come true, some don't come true. But it's like a great gamble. You can literally write an opus or a tome of nothing but predictions that you have for the future,
right,
and see which ones actually come to fruition.
A lot of shooters have manifestos where they talk about whatever the hell movie they loved and the subliminal messages that it told them, and then also at the end, usually near the end, they predict some future occurrences.
Right, because you always want to leave that with the people, like what was the prediction. So we're going to leave you all with some predictions. I predict big money from the government coming every American's way. I feel like if you are scamming right now, you're about to really get in gear. I feel like there's going to be another stimulus, but it's going to be a lot healthier and a lot more close to what we're seeing globally. You know what I mean? Like,
Am I allowed to ask you how you came to the conclusion of this Nostradamus prediction? Answer the first question first. Am I allowed to ask? Am I allowed to ask for how you came to there? Because you could just give it up.
Yeah. No, that's how predictions work, right? All the predictions, like revelations, everybody's just waiting to hear a horn, right? Everybody's just waiting to hear a trumpet. Everybody's waiting to, I don't know, see the clouds break open, the sky break open, and four horsemen descend from the top of the. People are waiting to see all these things, but it's like you just give it to them. They ain't explain in the Bible. They ain't say it's not really gonna be four horsemen. It's just like
I would argue the Bible is the explanation. The Bible as itself is the explanation. Like the whole.
What? What? That sounds like I don't want to get into this conversation. You got any predictions? No, you can't ask me no questions. How about that? I just answer the question. You got a prediction? Because I got more.
Keep going.
Look, y'all, check this out. Check this out. Biden is going to serve 2 years, and for some reason, Kamala Harris will then be president. For some reason, I don't know, but Kamala will be president. I don't want to be at specifics, right? Maybe he gets dementia kind of early, or the onsets of dementia start kicking in. And he's like
this
talking
is
to a.
I don't have to ask
leader.
you where you came with this one. This is like Sleepy Joe plus 2 years. Like the concept of it, plus 2 more years.
Well, all predictions should be measurable and
Lance, you stop. Don't. I'm not gonna let you say that because whatever you just did was the exact opposite of that.
You just said how I measured.
I know, but I'm saying I was gonna ask you. Yeah, that's you can't contradict yourself within 10 minutes. You got to give some time in between.
Predictions?
Yeah, I mean I predict that LeBron James and his son Bronny James will play on the same NBA team before LeBron James retires from the NBA. So I say that because the Lakers spent this offseason wheeling and dealing and making their team a lot better. Montrezl Harrell, who you said your sons or your kids used to have the same daycare, right? He played for Louisville. He just went across the street from the Clippers to the Lakers. Wesley Matthews, Mark Gasol.
Trez went to the Lakers?
Yes. Mark Gasol, Dennis Schroeder.
That.
So it's
I like that.
That's sixth man of the year and backup sixth man of the year, all going to the Lakers. And I think that means LeBron's going to add more years to his belt. And yeah, I think it's going to be one of the first times we ever see. We've seen a lot of first time things. With the LeVar Ball, shouts out to him, never lost. First time in history, 2 brothers were taken in the top 3 in the NBA draft. Lonzo was taken 2 to the Lakers. LaMelo Ball was just taken number 3 to the Charlotte Hornets. That's first time in history that's ever happened. I saw that
he got a Rolls Royce for that.
Who?
He was gifted LaMelo. He was gifted a Rolls Royce for getting drafted to the Charlotte. Not by Charlotte, but probably by his dad. But
nice.
He got a Rolls.
21 Savage also bought King Von's sister a Rolls Royce for her birthday. Shout out to them for that. But yeah, I think. Anyways, I
need a Rolls Royce.
He was.
Yeah, I know.
No, King Von was in the process of buying it, and then he passed.
Oh, so interesting.
21 Savage
finished it.
Finished. Yeah, picked up the tab and kept it moving. Yeah, so that was a sports one. Let me think about. I think this streaming cycle of like channels and money being spread out and everyone competing for eyes and subscriptions. I think it's just going to become the new cable. It's just like now instead of paying $130 to one person to get all your cable subscriptions annually, you're going to get around that per year or per month,
right? Paying
to all the different subscriptions and channels you have because they're all very, very specific, different types of content. I'm reluctant to get YouTube TV because I'm just going to take those ads and have the curated thing that is something that actually I'm thinking about, and one's like, oh yeah, I do want that air fryer. But yeah, so I think that it's just going to continue to be the new wave. I think more people may find themselves cutting the cord because the thing that they want live, news and sports, has a channel and has a subscription for it. So that's a little entertainment. Everyone's probably already, but I think mainly with that, podcasts are going to continue to evolve and change, and everyone's it's a big industry. Television is a copycat industry, and so is social media. So with that, I feel like original content is going to be sparse, but there's going to be a lot of different people doing a version of the thing that the top dogs are doing, which is, I guess, is what we're at now. But
Yeah, to an extent.
yeah,
My last prediction is there will be a lot of social turmoil, and turmoil I mean um, incidents of violence, incidents of civil disobedience, incidents of outright
what is civil disobedience?
um, mask ordinances, staying, lockdown ordinances for the COVID, getting vaccine ordinances. Like, we're going to see a lot of that kind of start to spur up. A lot of people are mad. I was watching this clip from Rush Limbaugh, and somebody called in, and he was like crying and like saying, we're not going to vote for these Republicans anymore who are just going to let them steal the election. Which they're Republicans who understand it was done fairly. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's this fringe. Those people, the dude that cried into Rush Limbaugh and his butt hurt, like him, he's going to be like, there's going to be tears, and then there's going to be retaliation because like they ain't got nothing to live for. They, this is like their sole purpose, and that is going to be a dangerous America. We just got out of the 2019 where we've seen the most hate crimes and the most like acts of violence for hate crimes than we've seen in the past decade. In 1 year, we've seen more in the decade, right? There was school shootings. I was reading this book called Red Summer, and it details in the 1920s and how there was like racial riots, and we kind of see that same energy 100 years later, and that energy is not going to stop. So I see that on the horizon, and I pray for better things. You know what I mean? Or I just want people to be, prepared. Where you got your house, I looked it up. Like that's an area that is predominantly one income base, one social background. I want to say white, like that's a nice place.
Wait a minute,
Being
why
there,
it's nice?
because it's not. We could talk about it off the podcast, but it's a good spot. It's a beautiful spot. It's a beautiful house, bro. I'm so excited to like work there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just one of those places where you outnumbered. You know what I mean? Like if
I
somebody
mean, outnumbered.
if somebody thought that Carter shouldn't be alive and doesn't agree with
Oh, you mean like
your-
black people, white people?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, we all are, right?
Well, no, not everybody. I mean, I'm in the West End. If
Oh, you're talking about just where you are
a pickup
geographically?
truck-
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
like.
I don't
with the
subscribe
with
to
this
that. I
prediction.
feel like our people are that in general, and I don't know if I don't know if geography changes that in how I see.
So
things
you would say
mentally.
that what? Like a place with a homeowners association. Do y'all have a homeowners association?
Yeah.
Of course you do. So like
Yeah.
you're saying a place with a homeowners association is going to be of the same mentality, or could be the same mentality of somebody in the West End, like some homeowner in the West End.
Mentality for I don't know.
Well, what
I
are you
don't
saying?
think
You
about
say
that.
you don't subscribe to what? You don't subscribe to the thought that you.
I'm
could
saying we
be
as
in
people, as
danger?
African Americans, are outnumbered in this country. Yes,
Yeah, but
and I'm saying I don't.
when it comes to like when it comes to
geographically.
like in the 50s, 60s, 20s, this happened for the past 100 years when they don't like something, or when a homeowners association decides that like this black family moving in is a nuisance, right? And they were made to pack up. This happened in Detroit, right, where people
Right. No, it
are
happens.
like,
It happens every day.
it happens every day.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, if it happens every day, I'm just what I'm saying is be on the alert for it. Like be aware of it, be conscious of it. I'm not saying live in fear or nothing, but I'm just saying like you're about to see a reaction from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
The area you lived in, those are going to be the people with the reactions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I guess my thought process is like that's where God is placing us for that intention. Like I'm always wherever I'm, because it was. I mean, we got turned down with X amount of houses before that were just as or maybe even more white neighborhoods. And I pray for being where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there, and also that the options laid out in front of me are the ones that I'm supposed to be taking for whatever reason.
Okay.
So like I'm very much on like a like this is it's all a
Whatever's
mission.
over our head is under God's feet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's not yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also, I mean, like I think, but you have to understand too. In my mind, me praying actively about those things, is the preparation.
Okay.
It's like actually being prayed up is there is a covering.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like there is a hedge over us, like based on the things that we've experienced, and like because people don't get to this side, like the other side of things. Period. So like, but that's what I'm saying. Like as much as you can talk about the things that I mean, we didn't write a letter to this house because the last house that we wrote a letter to, our realtor was like, somebody could have in that neighborhood or the sellers of that house could have looked y'all up, saw Brandon Newman, and saw all the things of me against Dave Portnoy and the black stuff. I would just say like, hey, we don't want to sell to a family that's interracial, or we don't want black people in this neighborhood. And I was so thankful that my realtor talked to us about it, because I was like, that's a reality that I live in. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so happy that I told them then. I was like, the house that we're moving into is at the top of the beginning of the subdivision. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to be able to get out of this mother like as soon as I can. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to.
I'm gonna sit next to the exit.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna be right by the exit. Right by the house is by the exit. Yeah, the house is by the exit. But that was the house that was available.
Yeah.
And that's the one that we're getting. And like that's where we're going to be. And it's like kind of like, the backdrop of all these memories that we're planning on making here in Louisville. So, but yeah, no, I obviously like with everything,
it's
nothing. But I'm saying nothing is all good and nothing is all bad. Mm-hmm. But it is about how you handle it and how you think about it, because perception is reality. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
So thoughts and prayers to
thoughts and prayers. Everyone I saw traveling right now. No one is listening to the CDC guidelines to stay in the house, which is fine. We have free will as human beings, so we're allowed to do what we please. A lot of people are traveling for the holidays. Be safe. Continue to be safe. Wash your hands, and we'll see. Super spreaders. We'll see what happens. But they said like Chicago's airport was booming. LAX was booming. So there's a lot of people moving around right now to see. But I think maybe it's because, I talk about what the things that are important. Like family has become really, really important. And for the people that haven't been a chance to be around family and are waiting for these jobs to start sucking them dry so they can go travel and be with people, they're going to take the opportunity to do so. You know what I'm saying? And COVID ain't going to stop it. And, we're going to see what we do. The Thanos snap has been snapped. And, we're just living on the other side of it.
Right on. Thoughts and prayers to everybody who is still in the fight, everybody who is still in the struggle, everybody who is still working towards justice and being the social equity auditors of culture, of the world. It's not the job doesn't stop. We never got any justice for Breonna. There are still people that are out there, demanding justice, but it's nowhere near the numbers that it was, right? It's only a matter of time before there's another egregious death. I forgot how long the statistics said, but it's less than a day that we see like these egregious police force usages and stuff like that. So thoughts and prayers to everybody in the fight. Thoughts and prayers thoughts to those who's like, don't understand, defund the police. Remember, if we defund the police, then we invest in the people. So when homie has a mental breakdown, there's a mental health specialist that comes to approach that instead of a cop, and lives aren't lost and people aren't ushered into the prison industrial complex. So
amen to that. Sorry for this is just a contentious like siblings podcast. We're up and down all around. I'm very hot. I'm starting to sweat now. But thoughts and prayers. I'm very thankful for you, individually, as a older brother, as a person. I think it's very interesting to kind of move around in these streets and then people know of you, because like that's like my reality too. Because like you are a very big, bright personality. You force people to think. Vern was like, I was listening to the podcast episodes and I was like, oh, Brandon know how to handle Lance's question. Or like when Lance usually do that to me, I'm just like, I don't even know what to think. And I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about because this is just like very much our relationship and we're working on that as well. And we're going to continue to grow. And, as brothers, as siblings, that's why I said these relationships are important. And I think it's important to feed these things, and these things that are important to you. The thing, the plant that you water and take care of grows. So it's important to nurture. Good fertilizer is sometimes essential, but if not, you just got to get in the root and replant. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important, and that's why I'm glad I'm here, and I'm extremely, extremely thankful for you.
Well, thank you, BB.
Yeah,
that makes me feel better. I've been feeling very unappreciated, so
Why?
I appreciate it.
What's going on?
I don't know. I always feel like the black sheep. Like I'm just don't got it right. Can't get right. Like the way I think is just so unacceptable and just will never be accepted by.
But perception is reality. So if you think it's less than, you know what I mean? So I guess like I was feeling that way at Barstool, and a part of that is true, but that's based on the foundation that's set up there, like for us, for you, for me, for other things, like. Perception is reality. So we can things are more malleable than they appear. And sometimes just the way of thinking. I'm chill. Sometimes I can't tie my shoes without losing my breath. But, if I lose a couple pounds, I can tie my shoes pretty easily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just got to change I can change my reality based on how I look at it. That was a bad example. But
that's a terrible problem, Brandon. Thoughts and prayers to your breath.
And 310 this morning, baby.
310.
That's not good. That's not good. I like that.
Good.
No.
310.
310.
Oh,
310 is not 310
310.
is not good. 310 is not good.
We trying to get you 270?
I don't know. I've been 270 since I was 14. So maybe something closer. My grown life weight, I always say, look, weight I want to have when I'm like picking up Carter from a recital or whatever the hell thing it is. I want to be like 260 maybe, but like I wear my weight well, so that's an issue too. But yeah, I gotta get tightened up.
We're gonna get Brandon back to where he was at 14. This is our 4th podcast.
Hey.
We will go 4th into this world. Thank y'all for checking it out. We'll see y'all in episode 5. Let's get it. Stay alive. Spread love.